No, speaking of how rappers get famous, though, we got to be talking about this Travis Scott stuff. If you haven't, surely that
Yeah,
like.
bro. Castro World, bro. That was
Astroworld.
Johnny's bit. It
So
was
you have
Johnny's
already
bit.
got into it.
Just a
Yeah,
little
bro.
bit.
Enlighten me on what you want to talk about with it though.
No, I was just
Nah, bro. Enlighten me, bro. Hop in it,
I'm
bro.
more. I'm the serious input. You guys are the ones that make the jokes. So if you already made the jokes, then the
Well,
serious
do
input
like a
isn't even
recap of
necessary.
what happened. Like, tell us what happened.
Well, I mean, up leading up to the show, the whole tour. I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of the like propaganda that he was using for like the promotion, material. Stuff like posters here. Let's look at some like looking like portals and the true dystopia is here. Like who knows what lies beneath the surface, and when the end arrives, it's really the beginning. Like stuff like that. Leading up, and like that was like the kind of.
Wait, I was joking. Like, almost sent like this post to Austin, joking that it was like this guy I thought was like crazy. Was posting like all the satanic links to Travis
Bro,
Scott. But is it actually
he's
really?
I mean, he's very satanic first off, anyways. Like what I mean? But and
I thought it was a
especially because
joke.
yeah, people are bringing that all or using that to run wild, and that's where I was kind of getting into the sense of like you could use it and go in two different directions. You could say it truly is satanic, or you could say this is like it's what all these elites use Satan as like a promotion material, like where they like wow, that's the explanation for these horrible things, but really they're just messed up, and he just really didn't do anything to ensure that things happened appropriately. It was under there was understaffed it completely. He was making posts saying like, "I hear they're gonna be closing them gates. Like I'm gonna be sneaking people in, especially the wild ones. And
He was
like
saying that. Damn.
yeah, he literally has public posts of that, and he knew 37 minutes before he stopped that Houston had made it. The authorities had made it clear to him. 37 minutes, like the news had gotten to him on stage 37 minutes ahead that it is a mass casualty. There were people dying. There were people. I mean, there were over 300, around 300 people were, severely injured and asphyxiated and whatnot. That was what they said was the main cause of the deaths. And the problem was that there were so many people compacted into the area that it was
Crowd
compressing
crush.
the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and that's just horrifying. And like, there was a moment where like, a man's dead body was being like crowd surfed up to the front, kind of, to what normally happens in these situations. And I've seen since this has gone out, I've seen multiple people showing examples of like other artists like Logic when like people would pass out during the show and he'd like force the crowd to divide. He'd stop the concert. He'd force the crowd into like a Noah spreading the Red Sea. You know what I mean? Like to get that person to safety and so that they could restart the show. But Travis looks at it and he tries to say he made a post like saying like how much he cares and all this stuff. But it's just
Yeah.
like he straight up saw it happening and kept going. You know what I mean? People were. Did you see the videos of the people begging the authority, like trying to climb up on stage and screaming at, like, and chanting in large groups at, like, the security officials and whatnot, saying, "Please stop the show! Please stop the show!"
Yeah,
Like,
the
I saw people
fans.
dancing on like the uh, ambulance or something.
oh yeah, exactly, exactly. And that's how rowdy the
Some
crowds
people are
can,
like, "Dude, let's keep going."
Yeah, he
I
knew
paid
it,
like
and
so
that.
much for this, but yeah, I can see
Look,
like people being like mad, like I don't know. I could almost see like people like came out all the way to this, and then like being caught in the moment, like wanting to like not the don't want the concert to end and stuff.
yeah, but that shit ain't
But you
worth
don't
it. You
know,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
but you don't know
Yeah,
like you don't know what's going
you
on
wouldn't
like
think
a
it's you.
few
Nobody
people
thinks it's
away.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it was even happening up like towards the VIP section and stuff like they were like it was hitting everywhere. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
just the concept. Yeah, the concept of like however he advertised the situation, and it could very well there could be this deep thing behind all this that it really is satanic, and these were like this was his like he was probably a joy and devout for his his Lord and these sacrifices that were happening at his cause, but like realistically, it's
Yeah,
all
that's the
could
post I
just
saw. Yeah, I
like
was
Well,
like,
I also kind
this
of
is a
like
ritual or something.
yeah, right,
I
yeah,
don't know. I like to like imagine myself as like Travis Scott in the situation and like just seeing like somebody like unconscious and shit, like how do you react to that? You
Masses
know
of
what I
people
mean? You know
unconscious.
what I mean? Like
Probably have
that's the like
Emergency
coaches telling you
officials,
like keep going, keep going.
Houston officials and authorities, and making sure that you get the word in your earphones saying there is a mass casualty. Over 100 people at this point, if not
Yeah.
more, have not only been at the verge of death, but are unconscious and are dying. You know what I mean?
but like it's really easy to be like he should react this way, but like being in the situation is entirely different. You know what I mean? Like
but I mean,
how do
every other.
you react? You know what I mean? Like like you can say how you're supposed
It's
to,
not just
but
him.
like
It's everybody running the show that I'm
yeah.
saying. This isn't
Yeah.
just there were people allowing the music to continue to play. There were people, you know what I mean, running the lights. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't just him. But that's what I'm saying. The people in charge of the show knew that they were understaffed, knew that they were exceeding the fire, marshal code and all those things, and that pretty much boils down to the fact that it shouldn't have gone on as far as it did. 37 minutes past the acknowledgement of it as a mass casualty is irresponsible. And you can say, yeah, whatever, yeah, like honestly, yeah, like who knows how to handle themselves in that
Yeah, that's what I'm
situation.
saying. Like,
And like, yeah, that's why it sucks that he's getting all this promotion. Everybody's over here being like, and
bashing
honestly,
him
this could
for it.
be, yeah, and it could be good for him in the long run. I have thought so
Dude,
many
we're going to
times
Astroworld
today.
next year.
I'm so down, bro.
You want to be another
Apparently, there's some like
sacrifice,
crazy hippies running around there. I read a story about a security guard that's trying to
getting jabbed with a syringe.
contain someone. Yeah, like apprehend someone over the barricade and got pricked in the neck
Yeah.
and like
Oh.
went unconscious and had to be administered Narcan.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Yeah,
yeah.
bro, that shit's fucking wild. See, dude, that's why you just can't lock up a bunch of Americans for 2 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's really what we've
But
learned.
also, like concerts have always been like people dying, like
Oh,
those kind of that
absolutely. They've
size,
always been
and
crazy.
like
Yeah,
the
it's just
hype. If you're like
it
the
just
hype
so
thing,
That
then
many mass
that's kind of.
casualties?
no.
I
Oh,
don't know.
dude.
You remember
Like
that?
at
What was that
EDM
video?
festival. I don't know if it's like casualties, but there have been like hundreds of people at like Lost Lands passing out and shit.
You remember that video? I'm sure you've seen it. The like metal concert where they were in like a bar or something. There's like a bunch of people and they had like pyrotechnics going, and then the whole building gets set on fire and like everybody like breaks the door or like can't get out for the most part.
Oh my
Oh, that's
gosh, yes,
wild.
yes. And it was because that whole stage was literally like covered like a brown, and above it they had like this type of insulation was super flammable and stuff.
Yeah,
And they were using like that pyrotechnics. Yeah,
Or it's
That
kind of like
video
it's
a
is crazy.
horrifying. It's literally honestly pretty messed up. The
yeah.
fact that there's like barreling through that front door so thick that they jammed themselves in it. Basically, they jammed the one entryway closed by just like World War Zing it.
That place went flames too.
Like how many people died? You say like over 100, right? Or it was at
I don't know
least
if it
like
was 100.
over
It was, like,
100
20
casualties
maybe.
or something.
I
Yeah,
can't
okay.
remember. I haven't watched that video in a long time. Kind of freaked
That would
me
be
out as a
shitty.
kid. Yeah.
Being in like a panic like that and like
But
a
also
mass
don't have
of
like
people.
those kind of pyrotechnics in like a bar venue or like
Yeah, absolutely.
like that small of a venue.
That's some like dad rock band like
it
wannabe
looks like,
stadium rock.
What's that place is it on 10th Street? I can't remember, but it was like one of those kind of like small venues that
Oh,
could
like
serve.
like the Blue Note.
The
Yeah.
Who concert in 1979 resulted in 11 deaths. So
There was
they
an
beat
EDM
Travis
festival. There
Scott.
was like a hurricane hit, and like the tent fell down on everybody. That would have sucked too.
Yeah, whose fault
that-
is it if a hurricane hits?
There's that
They'll
building
find
in India
someone.
too. You seen that video?
The what video?
That building of those people dancing in India.
Oh
like a
yeah,
wedding or
that
something.
video is crazy.
That's it honestly looks like it could be fake, like one of those
It's like a
old
wedding.
videos.
Yeah, no, it was real. There's like 8
That's a
people
crazy
died,
video.
I think.
I think a lot more than that did. When that floor
Jeez.
collapsed and they all fell through.
What other tragedies can we talk about?
50,000 people were there though. That's like an entire like city. Like
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they had to have expected that, right?
Dude,
A bunch
they
of
said they
hood
had
ass.
like 500 cops there, which
Jesus
sounded
Christ.
like a lot, but compared to that many people, that's nothing.
what's like
But
that
it
kind
also-
of like I don't know hype and stuff.
I was telling
Right.
Austin earlier that would be like the best time to do crime near an Astroworld concert is when it's going on. All the cops are just doing security at the concert. Like, who's patrolling the fucking city?
That's honestly all the hood people and all the like the stuff that would be going bad are in Astroworld. So
I don't know if you ask Peyton. The reason Astroworld went bad is because of toxic white masculinity.
Oh, okay.
Did you
Let's
see
hear
that
that.
picture I
Okay.
sent? No. It
No.
was a Twitter interaction I found. Where did that go, dude? It was like
That was funny.
the
Yeah, it was.
double whammy of racism. It's hilarious.
It's like if a certain demographic couldn't come, then there wouldn't be anybody at the concerts because the other certain demographic can't pay for it.
Oh yeah.
Tickets with food
Yeah.
stamps.
Yeah.
You can't pay for concert tickets with food stamps. Oh my god.
Jesus
Yikes!
Well,
Christ.
The worst
You
take.
can. It just kind of depends
If you want
on.
to trade, how you
That's
properly use your
That's the
food
most
stamps. in
real
order to give it-
racism example of like modern day racism.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude, Twitter's a
That's
wild place.
That's hateful.
I feel like
Fucking wild, wild west.
Ever since that be smelling crazy in there tweet, it's just like all gloves have been off on Twitter.
Just people just yeah, that's
Full
fine.
racism.